Good morning troops, another day, another drain, and here we are on the historical middle level and it hasn't disappointed yet. It's windblown, desolate and miserable. I've been here about an hour, set up in the dark, and the wind is really howling through, so I put my brolly up as a wind shelter. A bit of drizzle in the air, nothing major, it's actually quite mild. But it's blowing a gale, probably a little breeze everywhere else, but up here, open farmland, there's nothing to stop the wind. It is whooshing through. So after about 10-20 minutes, the wind just changed direction slightly, so I had to move everything. But we've got 3 rods in, same approach as quite a few in my last trip. So I've got two paternostered rigs, left and right rods, and the middle rod is a static dead. And the static dead is not quite mid-channel, but it's almost there. I just plumbed it up with that one, and it's the stop knots are at 15 foot. So I'm slightly over. I reckon this is 14, just over 14 foot down there. Not running off or anything. It's not, the current's not bad at all. I mean, sometimes it can be, you can really push through here when they're running it off, but it's quite pleasant current. It was a 2-rod swim. I've cut a load of reeds back to make it a 3-rod swim because it can be hard up here. I mean, if I'm going to sit here all day waiting for big fish, I want 3 rods out, not 2. And the middle rods I'll have to keep me beady little eyes on, because you get a lot of problems up here with mitten crabs. So with paternosters, their baits are off the deck, so they should be okay away from the crabs. But I've got a static dead, soft sardine on the deck, so I'll have to keep my eye out for that. That's why I haven't been up here yet, beginning of the season. The crabs are too much of a problem, but come January, it's February now, and come February and March, they tend not to be about so much. I don't know if they migrate somewhere to breed or whatever they do, but it tends to be less of them around this back end of the year. So back end of the season, it's the start of the year, isn't it? But you know what I mean. So yeah, we've got 3 rods out. Right hand rod is a small roach, about 1 inch long, and it's I'd say it's about 15 meters out. It's down to the right hand side. If I was fishing in the summer for tench and bream and roach and that's about roughly where I would be fishing. So it's not, it's pretty bang on. I say the middle rod is out towards the centre track, and the left hand rod is right in the margin on the left hand side. I'll show you the swim in a minute. We've got 3 rods out, and gonna stick it out all day. I've mooched over the border into Nelson's County. I might as well, it's a 50-mile drive from my house, so it's not a case of, I ain't caught nothing after a couple of hours, where shall I go? I'm here for the day to catch some fish, and to catch some big fish hopefully, because they are in here. There's big zander in here, not as many as there used to be. They're thin on the ground, the big zander, but they still throw up a fish every now and then. I'll leave a link up there, video I've done here, and I had a 20-pound pike and a 8-pound zander. That was a bad little session, so hopefully we can repeat some of the same. So I've got me brolly up. I hope the audio's okay, because it's really blowing a gale here. This could end up like a musical video if the older chatters too interfered with. But we're out, we're fishing. Let me show you the swim. Let's catch some pike, troops. Someone's kindly cut some steps out. It can be quite a precarious down. It's not as muddy as up my neck of the woods, so hopefully we'll be all right. Water is quite clear, bit of clarity there. You can see the bottom in the margins. Right, left hand rod. You can see it just poking through their reeds there. There it is. That's a whole roach, 3 or 4 ounces. on my running water paternoster rig. That's in the margin, opening some pike patrolling early doors. Middle rod. That's a static dead bait, half a sardine on a traditional dead bait float rig. It's nice down here, the wind's going over my head. It's not too bad down here. And the right hand rod, a whole roach, about an inch long. That's on my running water paternoster rig as well. As you can see, the wind's blowing through. It's a glorious day. Overcast, mild. It's not too bright, so with the water clarity as it is, it's quite clear in the margin. So they've got the cover of the cloud. So let's hope they feed. 3 rods in. Always got a chance when you've got bait in the water. Let's catch some pike. Well, 2-hour report. I was going to say nothing to report, but in the last 5 minutes I had 2 tentative runs. Right hand rod and my middle rod. My middle rod on the static dead. I was starting to see the float moving against the current. Whoa. Then it slowly sunk, so got down there, wound down, nothing. Just recast it, got it set up. My right hand rod, a single bleep. I looked and the float started moving. Once it disappeared, I wound down, and that was my paternoster rig on the right hand side. Very small roach. Wound down into nothing. I hope the crabs are not around. I really do. I don't think so. I think they were definitely runs, and I reckon maybe the Zander. I don't know. I'm guessing, you know what I mean? If they were pike, I think they would have been on the way the float was going. So maybe there was Zander, or maybe there were crabs. This place has got me paranoid. It's got inside my head with the mitten crabs in it along here. Blowing a gale. I hope it's not interfering with the audio too much. And I thought, yeah, finally. I boosted the baits with oil about half hour ago. And then 2 runs in 5 minutes. Both wound down into thin air. Both baits are not marked at all. So I'm hoping I ain't spooked them. But give me a bit of confidence now. We've had a bit of activity. We've been fishing for 3 hours. So it's, you know, it's 2 runs in 3 hours. Getting within a space of 5 minutes and miss them both. God blimey. Let's crack on, let's get some fish. Well, that's 1 o'clock, and I've just had another run that I've not connected with. Really perplexing. They're either very, very finicky biters along here, or I'm missing something. I've had a run on each rod, and it's definitely not crabs, because crabs are very, very small increments. I mean, the floats are going under and moving away, and I'm winding down and nothing. So I don't know, it's either, I don't know what it is, jacks, very riggy up here, or the Zander, I don't know. But at the moment, I've had 3 runs, 1 on each rod, and I've not even come close to hooking one, you know. At last. Oh, weren't the greatest bite in the world again, but I saw it moving before it went. It's a decent fish. It is a decent fish. Look at that. Barely hooked. Hey troops, there's me moaning. Got to run. Again, very finicky, very finicky. Covered in leeches and lice. But we're off the mark. Lovely colours, lovely dark greens on that. Beautiful looking fish. Don't think it's but I'm not going to bother weighing it. Woohoo! We're off and running. Look at that. What a cracker. What a beauty. We're going to get this girl back now. Get that bait back out there. We're off and running. We're still, we don't blank much on this channel. It's been a good winter fish wise. We've had one every trip. But we really need to start getting into the big girls now. What a beauty. Let's get her back. Well, we just had our first fish, and wouldn't you know it, they started running the drain off. So it's having a little problem holding bottom. Not majorly, it's not running off hard, but it is running off. So my static dead, which has got a drill bullet on, so it's going to roll anyway. That moved about 10-12 foot from where it went in to where it stopped. And it's just getting pulled under a bit, so I've got to adjust them stop knots, raise them stop knots 6 inches, take into account the bow in the line so it don't drag the float under. But yeah, so they're running it off. Not hard, but it is running. As I said earlier, the water's nice and clear. There's plenty of clarity there. So I'm glad it's overcast, and I reckon we could have a few more. I really do, but can't be missing runs. So we've had 4 runs today. We've managed to nab 1. That was on the left hand rod. That was on the whole roach, the 3 to 4 ounce roach, on my running water paternosted rig. So hopefully we'll have a few more. They're not hitting it like they hit them up my neck of the woods. They're very tentative bites, very finicky. But I mean, that was a good fish. So I mean, it took that roach no problem. But you saw where it was hooked, just in the top lip. You know, it was virtually just hooked. That wind's blowing. I say it's the difference in temperature from up here to down by the rods is somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees. It's unbelievable. But we're off the mark. We're up and running. We've another trip out, and we've caught. We need a big girl, big double, or a 20 or a 30. They're all in here. Just finding them. I mean, it's yeah, I mean, in the middle level, it runs for miles and miles and miles. Barren, featureless desert of water. It's virtually, I mean, they describe on the King's Lynn website, the Relief Channel, as essentially a reservoir, a long reservoir. This is the same. It is huge. It is vast. It's got 14 foot, 15 foot of water there. It's wide and it's long. It goes on forever and a day. So tracking the fish down is the hardest part. And then when you do get a run, you're not supposed to miss them. So we're off and running. I'm really pleased. Got another one under our belt without a blank. Let's go. Let's push on, onwards and upwards, and have a few big girls out now. I wouldn't even mind a PB Zander. That would really make my season. That would. There are 2 species of fish that I've really struggled with to get decent sizes. Zander's one. I've lost track of the amount of £9 Zander I've had. My PB is 9.15, and tench is the other one. I've lost track of the amount of £9 tench I've had as well, and my PB on that is 9.15. Well, we're not tench fishing, but we're piking. I've got my right hand rod's got very small roach on. So hopefully the Zander might find that appealing. I'd love one. I'd love a double, but let's not run before we can walk. Let's just fish for bites, fish for what's there, and if something good comes along, it comes along. Well troops, second one of the trip, same rod again. Paternostered roach, 3 to 4 ounces. Another beautiful coloured, oh, lively. Another beautiful coloured fish. Plenty of greens there, plenty of leeches on it. Here's the mug shot. Very sunny. There we go, there he is. She, look at her, she's a big girl. Not as big as I'd like, but they're getting there. Slowly but surely they're getting there. Another double, let's get her back. That is slightly better. There's a lot. I hope they ain't ruined that shot from that double. It's been overcast all day. All of a sudden I have a fish and the sun comes out. I'm going to get this baited up again, get it out. Let's hope we can catch some more. Well, it's 4 o'clock. We've had 2 today, both in about the £10, £10 to £12 bracket. No record breakers, not what we're after, but we've had 2. We've had 5 runs. We've landed 2. Very finicky runs earlier this morning. Been running the drain off really hard for the last 2 hours. Ever since I caught that last one, by the time I'd rebaited and cast out, the drain was running off, and I say it dropped a good 8 inches in 20 minutes, something like that. So there's testing conditions there. It's stopped running off now, so I've the static dead I've put right out into the middle channel. I ain't been out to fish out there for a little while. Repositioned both my left and right rods. We're all set fair for the last couple of hours before it gets dark. The cloud's breaking up, as I said earlier. The sun's right in my eyes, so there's no cloud behind me. There's plenty that way. Well, that is behind me. Behind where I'm sitting. Over that direction it's blue skies. That way it's black clouds. But we're out. We've got 2 fish in the bag. Hopefully we can have ourselves a big girl and a nice zander before the day's out. Feeling really confident now it's stopped running off. Hopefully we're going to fill our boots, have a red letter day. Well troops, I fell in love with the middle level again. I really enjoyed my day. Hard work, but then you have to put in the hard work to get decent fish. It's a hard fishery, but it's a good fishery. I've really enjoyed my day. Thanks for going along the journey with me. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the bank real soon.